first off, thank you, Collision, for having us here today. It's a real pleasure to speak with Cris Cyborg, as my colleague at TSN, Aaron Karolnik, mentioned. One of the all-time great mixed martial artists, the only mixed martial artist to win a belt in every major promotion that has her division. And it's just an absolute pleasure to speak with you today. Now, how did you get into mixed martial arts? I know you were an athlete in handball, and suddenly you're a mixed martial artist.
First, thank you for everyone being here. It's a pleasure to be here. And I see we have 25 minutes, so it's like one championship fight to talk. So I play handball before, and I do track and field. And then when I was playing handball, I did a lot of scholarship, and the sport really helped me when I was a teenager. And then when I was 19 years old, I was in university. One guy from Muay Thai gym, he told me, I think you can be a great fighter. So after that, I did one class Muay Thai. I say, maybe I can do this. It's different, but you don't have a red card. You can do whatever you want. So I did my first fight, and I said, man, I get in love. And now I'm going to be turning 18 years doing mixed martial arts.
When was the moment you fell in love with mixed martial arts and doing martial arts?
You know, the first thing, like when I start training, I didn't know, like when I'm getting harder time in the gym, I overcome. I want to punch back. Even if I don't know punch, I want to punch back. I want to defend myself. So when I did my first fight, I lost my first fight. But I feel like, you know, I'm born for this. I think all the other sport I did it before is for getting ready for being a good fighter.
Well, you lost your first fight, but it was a long time before you lost your next fight. One of the longest runs unbeaten in mixed martial arts history among the elite fighters. Now, when did you realize that one day you could become a champion in the sport?
You know, I feel like this. You have to love your job. Like when you love your job, and when you have harder times, you're going to continue going because you love it and you have a dream. The beginning when I start training, I knew I trained really hard. I know I was going to train more than all the girls. Like I feel like, okay, if I did it dedicate, if I love my job, I know the blessing is going to come. I know the opportunity is going to come. You just have to be ready. Because sometimes when the opportunity comes, you're not ready. So sometimes you have a harder time for you start accomplish, getting better, improve yourself. So for you be ready the moment, the right moment. And when it was the time to fight for the title, for the first time with Gina Carano, I was ready.
And if you're unaware with women's mixed martial arts, people need to realize when Cris started doing women's mixed martial arts, it was like baseball in the 1920s. It was a very unestablished sport. So what made you, I mean, what was the early days of women's mixed martial arts like for you, trying to get fights, joining promotions? Talk me through that.
Sorry.
Just the early days of women's mixed martial arts. What was it like when it was such a young sport?
You know, the beginning of my career, just have a guy in the gym. Like me, I think me and maybe another girl. You know, it's very, nobody really know about women's MMA. So it's hard when you have a dream and you know it's no lot of places to have the advantage, to have the opportunity. So when I did my first fight, I have the opportunity to fight in my city, Curitiba, and after that I think it opened a lot of doors, and I have the opportunity to fight in America. And then when I say, you know, in America, I love my job, I have to move to America after I fight to Gina Carano. Gina Carano, for who don't know, it was the first time, it was a first female championship fight. And it's nice because we did it for 5 rounds. Before it's like 3 minutes rounds. And then the first time too, we did a 5 minutes round and then on TV. So after this opened the door for a lot of women, like Ronda Rousey have the opportunity to fight because a lot of girls fight before.
You have a lot of highs in your career. It's a long career with a lot of great victories. What's your most memorable moment? What's your favorite moment of your career?
You know, my favorite moment, I believe it was the Gina Carano fight. I believe it was when I go to the fight, there's nobody who I am that time. And people calling me a killer machine. So, and then everybody boo me because nobody know who I am. So it was the time, okay, now I have the opportunity, I have to do the great fight and get the belt to Brazil.
And we talked earlier about how you had a long unbeaten streak, 13 plus years unbeaten in mixed martial arts, which is really, really hard to do. Your most recent loss was to Amanda Nunes, and I was there backstage covering the event. And one thing that really stood out to me was I saw you afterwards and you had a smile on your face, you were ready to talk to the media, talk about what had happened. Something you're not used to doing is losing. So how did you handle that loss so well?
I think the first thing I believe I was in the sport, Like I play handball before. Someday you win, someday you lost. So I believe this is the first thing I learned how the sport works. And every time I step in the octagon, I step to the fight, I know can have the possibility to lose. I know. I work really hard and do my best, and God be with me. I'm gonna win the fight. If not, I'm gonna learn a lesson. And that night, for sure, it's now changing my person who I am. I'm a better fighter now. I learned a lot, and I believe it's not just in a loss in our life. It's just you have to be sad. In the moment you be sad, but for sure you grow. You grow after as a person, as a fighter.
Absolutely. And when we talked, you mentioned the Gina Carano fight, how people were booing you. And when Ronda Rousey was champion, she made you out to be a real villain, and people didn't really like you at that time. But since then, you've done so much in terms of philanthropy and giving back and helping people learn martial arts as well, giving back to your home country of Brazil. Why was it so important for you that people got to see who you really were as opposed to what people thought you were?
I think I never think I have to prove anything. I always think I have to improve and getting better. And I really don't, I know it means I don't care like what people think about me, because I know I have somebody upstairs me and they're watching me everything I do. So, and he knows I do everything on my heart. I know, me and Ronda Rousey have a little bit, the beginner like help grow in the women's MMA. But I believe, I like to use my platform for helping people. I like to be not just the champion, hold the title, walk everywhere, but I like to be the champion, the people's hearts, change their lives where I'm going. I believe you have a big responsibility if you be people calling you world champion, and God put you there, you have to make difference where you're at. You have to be light in the darkness, you have to help everyone. So I try to do my best and to share my experience and to be the light where I'm at.
It's a big time right now in the Cris Cyborg business. You're a free agent coming up soon. What are some of your combat sports goals? What do you still want to achieve in combat sports that you haven't achieved yet?
The one thing of my dream is doing a boxing fight. I did a Muay Thai fight separate, I did the Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, but I never have the opportunity to do one boxing fight. This is one of my dream. I'd like to do before I retired. I'm doing now 18 years fighting. I want to accomplish 20 years, and before this I want to do one boxing fight. I believe soon I'm going to have news about that, and I'm very excited.
One name in the boxing world that's made some waves in women's boxing, the biggest women's boxing fight that we've seen in maybe ever at Madison Square Garden, was Katie Taylor defeating Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor and you are around the same size. How important would that be as your boxing match? If you could choose an opponent, would it be Katie Taylor, and why?
Why not? It's not going to be challenging for me. For sure, it's a different sport. I like to challenge. I like to be in a comfortable place. This is growing my faith and growing believe in myself and to work hard. If this opportunity show up for me, for sure I'm going to be ready. I'm going to do my best for my fans and do a great show.
People will always underestimate how a mixed martial artist will do against a boxer, but I would urge you to watch Chris's Muay Thai fight against the best Muay Thai fighter in the world, and it was a very close fight. That's the kind of challenge that you are looking for with Katie Taylor.
That fight was a great fight for me. It was a great challenge for sure. I grew so much from this fight. Jorina Bars, shout out for her. The good thing about this fight, okay, I lost this fight. I didn't know how tall she is, just accepted the fight. You want to fight, Cris? Yes. After the fight, it was a great fight. You guys can watch. So that fight making me happy, because after the fight, Jorina Bars came and talked to me. She said, Cris, thank you for accepting the fight, because 3 years I'm not fighting because girls don't want to fight me, and they really needed the money. So I feel in my heart, sometimes God uses you for bless somebody. And in this fight, and now people who she is, she have like 40 titles. She's the most winner in the Muay Thai. She's a big name. Sometimes God uses you for, help somebody, and I feel this way. And for sure, helping me, I learned a lot.
There's only one of these belts in the world. It's the Grand Prix belt, or Grand Slam champion
Grand Slam
belt.
champion.
We have Bellator, UFC, Invicta, Strikeforce.
Yes.
The only 4 major promotions that have a 145-pound division. There's the PFL. They have a 155-pound division. That's one class up, and Kayla Harrison has been their 2-time tournament champion. She's been talking about you very often, about wanting to face you. Is that somebody that you would like to face in the future?
You know, maybe, you know, she's young, I'm been fighting, I know it's different division, but you know, if the opportunities be there and if it be good for my career, I don't think I need this fight for my career, but you know, I like challenges, and let's see what's the next step for me, but I think it'll be a great fight.
You say you don't need the fight. Do you feel like she needs the fight more than you do?
I think I accomplished so much in my career, so I want to do the biggest fight for my career for now. If you fight her is going to be big, we're going to think about for sure, but you know, for me, I want to do the biggest fights.
Now, we mentioned your upcoming free agency, but this weekend, you're actually going to the Bellator event. You've got Kat Zingano against Pam Sorensen, two of the best 145-pound fighters in the world outside of yourself, of course. What are you expecting at that event, and why did you decide to go to that event?
You know, Pam Sorensen, people don't give it so much credit for her, but you know, she's a good fighter. She's a tough fighter. She's the Invicta champion. Kat Zingano, you know, she's a legend, you know, too, in the sport. I think it'll be a great fight. I believe it is two grapplers, you know. I believe Kat Zingano will be tough little bit and wrestle her. But let's see, I'm going to be very close to watch this fight.
And are you hoping to face the winner of that fight at some point?
Yes, let's see. Let's see if Kat Zingano ready, I'm ready.
Well, we've talked a lot about mixed martial arts and combat sports and how accomplished Cris is. But Cris is also a pioneer in the tech space, and that's why a lot of people are here at Collision today, is to talk about burgeoning technology. Now, with NFTs, you were the first athlete to have an NFT on the Nifty Gateway, which was started by the Winklevoss brothers. Now, the value of that NFT has gone up exponentially. What made you decide to get into NFTs in that particular venture?
You know, I'm really big in the bigger technology, the blockchain. And I believe it's good for me to connect to the fans. It's the easy way to be connected and continue growing. You know, it's the future.
And you accept cryptocurrency payments on your website. Why is that important to you, and allowing fans to have alternate methods of paying for anything that you offer in your store or any of your videos, and being part of the Cyborg Nation Club?
No, I do have a Bitcoin, and then I believe when you understand about Bitcoin, you see like you know one enough, and then, you know, I'm the holder now, you know, I like to grow with the future because I'm here, you know, I like to learn. I have to go with my Cyborg Nation young fans, and it's nice to be part of this.
And when it comes to your sponsorships, you've been, you know, you've really embraced cryptocurrency sponsorships. Why has that been an important part of your business?
I think it's helping for growth. You know, I think Bitcoin, the currency is going to be in the future. You know, the internet, and I think you have to grow together. If you want to be on top, you have to grow together, and you have to learn. And this is, I'm here. This is important for my team.
And what are some other technology-driven projects that you have that you're working on, or you're hoping to work on in the future?
We're doing now a video game in blockchain. Then we'll work on this, and I'm very excited. Probably it's going to be in the fighting, you know, and I'm very excited about.
When's that launching?
I don't know, but probably soon.
Well, that's great to hear. That seems to be what a lot of athletes are starting to drive towards, is putting their personalities out in terms of the blockchain and NFTs. Your website, it has a premium section on CrisCyborg.com. What does it mean to be a premium member of your website, and what are some of the perks?
Members, you're going to be timing together. It's one time a month you're getting together, live together. You make any question, you know a little bit about me. Every week we have Techniques Thursday, and you know everything is going on, and they share the experience with me. And you know, if you're loyal and you love Cyborg Nation, you want to know a little bit about me outside the cage, it's a nice opportunity.
You have a group of fans that you call Cyborg Nation. Cyborg Nation can be anybody. It can be somebody in this room, anybody who supports the Cyborg is part of Cyborg Nation. What does it mean to have that kind of support, and what does it mean to be a member of Cyborg Nation?
You know, for me, my fans I love everyone. You know, I give attention for everyone. Where you're gonna see the fans gonna talk to me, because they really change my career. They really help me. They really with me every moment. I know sometimes you say, you know, sometimes when you're bad situation, the friends don't show up. But Cyborg Nation with me in the bad, in the good situations, all the time in my career. So I'm very thankful for them. Those Cyborg Nation, it's like one. Appreciate for everyone. Follow me in my career and be with me for a long way.
I've covered the sport for a long time, and I haven't seen anybody interact with their fans quite like you do. It really is a real. It is a nation. It's Cyborg Nation for that reason, because you really draw everybody in. You make people feel special when they're in your presence, and I really appreciate that about you as somebody who covers the sport.
No, for so long, before I came from Brazil, so I didn't speak English, and I have a harder time in connection with my fans because they really check me when I'm fighting, but don't know who am I in person. But they start learning and they start to connect, then it's really important because they connect to you, they see you. Man, she's like me, she's like me, live the life like me, work every day, breakfast, train, and have a hard time, have good times. It's nice when you have the connection with fans, they know that similar, lifestyle.
I know you did a Q&A here earlier with some of the attendees. They asked you questions. What have you done today at Collision? What else are you looking forward to checking out here at this conference?
I think it's very nice because I really learn a lot, and they have a lot of good speakers too. Tony Khan, I listened yesterday. He talked about the biggest, his make the difference in the wrestling world, and it was really nice to be here.
We talked about Cyborg Nation, how you've made such a big difference in people's lives with your philanthropy work and your charity work. What do you have going on in terms of that right now? Any big projects? And I know in your native Brazil, you're setting something up right now as well.
I went to Brazil. We have one big event called Cyborg Nation, but in Portuguese, Nação Cyborg. And we do event mixed martial arts for give opportunity for younger fighters who want to be champions and represent Brazil, represent another different country. And now we're going to have a Pink Belt Fitness, July 30th. And we're going to do the first time in one grappling tournament, only for moments. They're going to be in Huntington Beach, California, August 20. If you would like to know more, you go to website CrisCyborg.com.
Now, why was it important for you to start an all-female grappling promotion? That's a very innovative idea.
In the beginning of my career, I have people, angels, give the opportunity for me be where I'm at now. So I think it's important I back it and they help the community, the fighters community, and they give the opportunity for the young fighters, have the opportunity, and the full women especially.
Will you grapple at some point in the Empowerment Grappling Championship?
Sorry?
Will you grapple one day in the Empowerment Grappling Championship,
yes.
You think? You think you will too at some point? That's great.
Good.
And how can people watch the Empowerment Grappling Championship when it launches?
You're going to be online. You guys can check CrisCyborg.com. We're going to be alive. And you'd like to sign up, it's going to be a great event.
Now, you're wearing this nice pink outfit.
Yes.
You're based in Huntington Beach, and you've launched the Pink Belt Fitness program. What's that about, and how can people get involved?
Usually we do sometimes 2 days training or 1 day training. It's all the ages. You don't need to be anything expert about mixed martial arts or know anything. You're going to learn, you work for self-defense. You're going to know a little bit about my life, my experience day by day. We always bring a guest to explain it. Sometimes it's about health, how you can be healthy, eating good, how to do makeup, massage. It's great things. You bring professionals to teach. And you're going to learn a little bit about Muay Thai, Jiu-jitsu, self-defense. It's a great moment for women getting together. And we are family. We have members, more than 100 girls together. You keep in touch after all the camps. And we start thinking about 2015. And I'm really happy.
That's so interesting that it's not just martial arts. Everybody would expect that. It's all kinds of different life skills. Why was that important for you?
MMA fighting is little piece. I think it's just you have to use this for open the opportunity for another things. And for sure, I always support the women and give the opportunity for them. And that's it for to have success.
In terms of all of the different charity work you've done over the years, and it's been a lot, what's been the most rewarding for you? Is there a moment that you can think on where you did something where you were like, wow, I really made a real difference in somebody's life?
I think the most special one when I went to Africa, we put water wells, there's one pygmy tribe over there. For me, it's changed my life because now in the morning when I wake up, sometimes you complain. We complain all the time, but I think you have people like a very bad situation. So like you have clean water in the mornings. It's like little things we don't appreciate. And it was a really special moment for me. And they always smile, they have a harder time. So for me, it's always helpful to support. And in Africa changed my life. The people really happy in their hearts and it make me really happy. When I have Zambia, I went to Zambia too, having community over there, then training, then give training for people coming champion over there. And so I always like to help the community. I feel like if you bless for something, no need to be money. can be like, okay, I'm a good makeup artist. I'm a good in math. I can teach. You can share your experience. You can teach someone, and you're going to be very happy. So I like to bless somebody, people around me, with what I have.
And when you eventually retire, is that what you're going to dedicate your life to, is doing philanthropy and going around the world and helping?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, this is my passion.
Well, it's my pleasure speaking with you today, Chris.
My pleasure.
It's been great to be here at Collision. And, as somebody who covers mixed martial arts, it's been so great to see somebody like yourself give back and be such an inspiration, especially somebody who started as a pioneer in mixed martial arts as a whole. In terms of women's mixed martial arts, you've been there since the very beginning of when the sport became big, and you've really helped build it to what it is today. And watching you be undefeated and unbeaten for such a long time, if you look at the very top mixed martial artists, your unbeaten streak is actually longer than Khabib Nurmagomedov's entire career. So when we get to see just how elite you've been, how dominant you've been, I think that everybody should really respect your accomplishments in the cage, but also more importantly, what you've done outside of the cage, what you're doing in the tech sector. And as a result of that, again, it's been a real pleasure for me to speak with you here today at Collision. I hope everybody enjoyed this conversation, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, para mim é pleasure. Thank you. I not just want to live this world to be the champion, but I want to make the difference. I want the people to have good things to remind about me, and yes, that's it. Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone. Listen. And I hope you guys understand my English is not the best one, but I really work on, I promise. Thank you, guys.
If someone wants to join Cyborg Nation, what's your website?
CrisCyborg.com.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming to Collision.